Ladies and gentlemen, Neel Kolhatkar.
Thank you. I am a good comedian. I don't think I'll ever be great though, because I'm not depressed. Like, to be a great comedian, you've got to be depressed. Got to have all these personal issues. Just look at all the great comedians who are dealing with something. Robin Williams, Bill Cosby, Louis C.K. now as well. Like, I don't have that. The best I've got is that I'm a little bit insecure about my height. That's it. That's hardly the catalyst for an Oscar-winning screenplay. And it's not just in comedy. In all forms of art, there's this archetype of the tortured artist. To be a great artist, you have to be a tortured soul. Art is like drinking. You can't be good at it unless you're depressed. Music has the 27 Club. All these great musicians who were so tortured, they passed away by the age of 27. Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix. Avicii was 28, just missed out Avicii. Like, if I was a great comedian, after the show I should be racking up lines of coke. But I'll probably just go home and have a fruit smoothie. Like, that smoothie will repair my body but damage my career. Do you know what that's like? To be in an industry that discriminates against me because I'm a well-balanced individual? To know I'll never be good at my job because I say no to drugs? Man, I'm sick of being stigmatised for my perfect mental health. I'm sick of this. And only in art does this stereotype exist. If Dave the accountant dies from a drug overdose at 26, he doesn't get inducted into the Accounting Hall of Fame. At best, they name a fun run after him. People would ask me, "Hey Neel, do your parents support your career choice?" And I would say yes. But now I say no. Because if they truly supported me, they would have abused me by now. Given me some of that darkness. Come on, Dad, if you love me, you'll touch me. Touch my dick, Dad, before it's too late. This is why I don't trust Ed Sheeran. That guy just seems way too well-balanced relative to his talent. I think there's some dark things happening behind the scenes with Ed. I think in 10 years it's going to come out that Ed Sheeran rapes ponies or something. I'm in love with the shape of you. Any musicians here? Yeah? What sort of music do you do? Bit of everything. Well, that helps me, doesn't it? What's your favourite genre of music? Bit of jazz? Just a bit of jazz. Yeah, nice. I got a friend, he's a musician. He's always telling me about his latest album. You know, he's always like, "Oh, dude, my new album's coming out, man. Yeah, it's called Riding That Wave. Because we're all just riding that wave of life. Track 2 is called The Ocean. Because, like, we're all just, like, riding that wave of life as part of the bigger ocean." And I'm like, well done. What do you want, a Nobel Prize for your 7th grade metaphor? I'd take Pitbull featuring Kesha any day. And he's like, how about you respect the art? And I'm like, how about I sneeze on your unvaccinated kids? How about that? Let's see if little Johnny can ride the wave of life when he has tuberculosis. Any smokers here? Any smokers? No one? What's that? Did someone say something? Shisha. You smoke shisha.
I smoke shisha, bro, man. It's mad clothes. Fuck tobacco, bro. It's fucking gay.
It's cool, man. I'm down with shisha smoking. I don't even mind people who smoke cigarettes. I just don't like people who roll cigarettes. I just think it's arrogant. What, you're such a tobacco connoisseur, you need a deconstructed cigarette? If you're going to smoke cigarettes, at least keep a couple of Bangladeshi factory workers employed. They're so annoying. Mid-conversation, always licking their paper. Like some 80-year-old who still writes complaint letters. They always say the same thing as well. They're like, well, it's cheap, Neil, it's cheap. It's like, yeah, all right, what are you saving for? That 30-year retirement your lungs definitely won't make it to. Come on. I'm not cut out for this life. Not cut out for the partying. I was a good boy, you know. I went to a selective school. Yeah. Some fans. Selective schools. Anyone else go to a selective school? Yeah? Well, see, this is how polite we are. We're putting our hands up. Not like the rest of you normal public school people. Yeah, not me. If you don't know what a selective school is, it is a public school. You just have to do a test to get into it. So it's a nerd school, basically. And a lot of white parents will say this about selective schools. They'll be like, oh, it's too much pressure. Too much pressure at those selective schools. Too much pressure. And we all know what they really mean, right? They don't mean too much pressure. They mean too many Asians. Oh, what's that? Oh, poor little Stephanie. Oh, can't handle all those Chinese and Indian kids. Oh. Might have to study 2 hours a day. Oh, no. Toughen up, Stephanie. You know what 2 hours a day of study is to a Chinese or an Indian kid? A holiday. Get over it, Stephanie. Put down your Justin Bieber album and pick up a textbook. Mary Zhang from James Roos doesn't get stressed, she gets results. Stephanie doesn't need a psychiatrist, she needs a good dose of Indian parenting. She doesn't need medication, she needs Mr. and Mrs. Patel. Eat this curry, you will shit the anxiety right out. I don't understand that claim. There's pressure in Australian high schools. There's no pressure. You can fail high school, you'll be fine. You're not going to starve to death. You can go on welfare, you can go work at McDonald's, become a candidate for the One Nation Party. Plenty of opportunities for you to still make enough money to go to Bali every year. If a girl fails high school in Australia, she still gets a happy ending. If a girl fails high school in Asia, she has to give happy endings. This is what else people say about selective schools. Oh, they don't develop any social skills. They don't develop any social skills at these selective schools. No socials. It doesn't help that this guy's alone, but, you know... Don't develop any social skills. Oh, sorry. No, we're not getting drunk and fingering each other at 13 or... I don't know, whatever the other kids do. But we can make an equation about it. Probability of orgasm equals velocity of fingers plus pi r dick to the power of alcohol. It's a great equation. I think white kids need to toughen up in the classroom and Chinese and Indian kids, we need to toughen up on the sports field. Because we're good at some sports, we're not good at any contact sports. Where are all the Chinese and Indian football players? I'll tell you where, the Islander kids probably ate them at half time. That's where they are. I was watching rugby league a couple of weeks ago when it was on and the match finished. Got to the post-match interview, and we all know what post-match interviews in rugby league are like, right? They're always like this. They're always like, oh yeah, the boys done good, and yeah, full credit to the boys. The boys really dug in there for the boys when Boys needed the boys to come good for the boys to go husbands. Yeah, the boys, and all the boys came together for the boys. So lucky, yeah. Let's go to the pub. Even when you ask them a personal question, like, hey mate, how was your hamstring in this game? Yeah, full credit to the boys, mate. They really got me through. Even when you ask them a question that has nothing to do with rugby league, so I hear your wife's pregnant. Yeah, full credit to the boys, mate. Forwards went hard up the middle. And I'm watching it with a friend of mine. My friend gets really angry. He's like, oh, they're so dumb, aren't they? These footy players are so stupid. I was like, come on. You've got to cut them a little bit of slack. They did just spend 2 hours bashing into each other. What do you want him to come out with? Some Shakespearean sonnet? What do you expect him to be like? Forsooth, my lord, he doth run, but methinks he shan't run with mine vigour. Of course he's going to be like, yeah, the boy's done good. He's disoriented. He's caught up in the euphoria of still being alive. I don't think that's a fair criticism, criticising a rugby league player on their vocabulary. It's got nothing to do with their field of expertise. That's like criticising the winner of the spelling bee for having small biceps. Or criticising a politician for having a bad singing voice. Or Fuimano, the giant Tongan front rower, just rocking up to head office, spear tackling Dave from accounts and just being like, oh, look at this guy, can't even take a fucking tackle, bro. Like, it's just not part of the job description. Just think about that. Think about being a professional rugby league player. Every week, you have to harness all these animal instincts and violent tendencies and just immediately switch them off and fit right back into polite society. That's your job. Every single week for 2 hours. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get... Next week, oh, yeah, run at me, I'll send you to the bloody hospital. Yeah. The boys. You know, if we do that, we go to jail. If they do that effectively, their kids go to private school. Is it really that surprising when one of them tries to penetrate a dog? He was just going method. You know, when Daniel Day-Lewis stays in character for 6 months, everyone says, oh, what a great actor. But when Todd Carney pisses in his own mouth, he's a disgrace. No, he's not. He's fully committed to the role. That's what he is. Speaking of rugby league players, domestic violence. Ooh, let's try to make that funny. Let's try. I think domestic abuse is disgusting. It's terrible. Should never happen. Whereas domestic violence, that's just any sort of violence in a domestic context. And it really depends, right? Like a husband hitting his wife, horrible, should never happen, he should go to jail. Whereas 2 evenly matched gay guys going at it, well, that's a fair fight. You know, there's a reason boxing has weight classes. You know, parents egregiously hitting their kids, disgusting, should never happen. 2 twins having a wrestle, that's just part of growing up. A much larger boyfriend pushing around his smaller girlfriend, terrible, deplorable, should never happen. An average-sized white woman up against me, fair fight. I think a penis is a dangerous thing, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, 99% of the time it's fun for everyone involved, but if you don't use it properly, it can be dangerous. You just have to prove you're competent with a penis before you're allowed to use it. There should be a dick license. Like a driver's license, but for a dick. We make kids get a pen license. I think the stakes are a bit higher with a dick than a pen. So this is my idea for a dick license. When a boy turns 14, he gets his learner's dick license. And he can start interacting sexually. But someone with a full dick license has to supervise him the entire time. So if he's hooking up with his girlfriend, her dad has to be in the corner. Just get your hands out of there, mate. He has to do 120 hours. Put it in a logbook. Then when he's done that, he can go for his provisional dick license. And you can do everything except actual intercourse on your P's. But there's no second chances on your P's. An unsolicited dick pic, a grope at a music festival. Now that's it, dick license gone. And then at 16, he can go for his full dick license. He has to pass a practical consent test. 3 hardcore feminists have to watch the entire thing. And if they give him their stamp of approval, then he can start banging. So if I'm at a bar with a girl and we're hitting it off, but she's still a bit unsure, I can just be like, hey, got my full dick license. Oh, sweet, let's bang. If she's still not convinced, there's room on the back for 3 references. So she can be like, let me just have a... hi, is this Cassandra? Hi, Cassandra. I'm here at a bar with Neel. Yeah, you're listed as a reference on his dick license. Yeah, just want to make sure it's all in order. And if you don't mind me asking, Cassandra, how was he? Okay, he tried his best. Thanks, Cassandra. Look, Neel, I can see you're very dedicated to this, but I don't think you have the right kind of experience for this role. But hey, I've got a slutty friend. She might have an opening for you. It's hard for guys, you know? I was an accidental creep the other day. Accidental, keyword. I was at the beach and I'm wading into the water. There's a girl next to me and we're about 20, 30 metres into the water. And suddenly this freak behemoth of a wave just comes hurtling towards us. This tsunami just comes out of nowhere. And it looks like it's going to break right on top of us. So naturally I duck underwater. I still get thrown around a fair bit. I come up, I'm quite disoriented. And I just make a very innocent comment to her. This is all I say. I'm just like, oh, talk about perfect timing. And she looked at me really disgusted. She was just like, oh. And she stormed out of the water and left the beach. Now, I was quite confused by that, so I came out of the water as well, and I went up to my friend who was sitting on the sand, and he was like, hey, Neel, did you see what happened to that girl? And I was like, no, I was underwater. What happened to her? And he goes, oh, the wave hit her so hard that her bikini top came off and she flashed the entire beach. Yeah, so my innocent comment isn't so innocent anymore now, is it? As if that isn't embarrassing enough for her already, now she has to deal with Indian aqua creep sprouting out of the water like a horny sea urchin. Oh, perfect timing, yum, 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 yum. Donald Trump's a bit of a creep. A lot of people say Donald Trump is unfit to be president. I disagree. Because I don't think anyone is unfit to be president. Because I don't think being president is actually that hard. It's important, but it's not hard. So I don't think it matters who it is. You know, like, what do you do, sir? What do you do for a job? Oh, I do publicity. Okay, yeah, see, like, I'm probably unfit to do that. You know? But I'm fit to be president. What about you, sir? What do you do? Lawyer. I'm definitely unfit to do that. But I'm fit to be president. I get it, I'm just some Australian. But what do? You just give a bunch of speeches, say yes and no to things. Do we raise taxes? No. Do we legalise weed? Yes. Do we bomb North Korea? No, hopefully. Being president is just like a really high-stakes game of Tinder. It's no. Putin, yes. I mean, you can do more if you want. You can write laws and things, but if you're the president, why would you work any harder than you have to? What do you want, a promotion? Everyone's talking about diversity now. Everything has to be diverse. Commercials, they can't just have white people. They have to have a black person, an Asian person, a lesbian midget in a burqa. Just tick every diversity box. And all these big companies get applauded for their diverse ads. Oh, Samsung, oh, such a diverse ad. Oh, they had a trans person. Oh, Samsung. It's like they're still a transnational corporation. All right, Samsung, where's the diversity in your Chinese slave factories? Jinping can't write a blog when she's making 10,000 phones a day. I've been travelling a fair bit. I was in Europe recently with my girlfriend at the time, and we're flying back on one of the major Arab airlines, and we'd had a good holiday, so we were being a little bit affectionate on the plane. Nothing over the top, just a bit of kissing and cuddling. And one of the stewards, he comes up to me, he's like, I need to talk to you for a minute. And he took me aside, and he's like, look, because this is Arab airline, you are not allowed to be affectionate on the plane. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's understandable, I'm very sorry. Although I'm not going to lie, part of me wanted to go full bogan on him, just, oh, screw your bloody culture, mate, I'll do what I want. I resisted that urge, and I went back to my girlfriend, and I said, hey, we can't be affectionate anymore. And she was like, oh, that's annoying. And I'm like, well, yeah, sorry, you can't resist me for 10 hours, but you're going to have to. And she's like, no, it's annoying because he only spoke to you because you're the man. And I was like, look, as much as I agree with you, this is really not the time for your Western feminism, okay? I'd rather not get stoned to death right now. Don't think it counts as 50 Shades of Grey when it's a hairy Arab man whipping you in public. Any feminists here tonight? Yeah, nice, no feminists. Yeah. I went on a date recently with this girl. She was a really hardcore feminist, which I'm cool with. But then at the end of the date, she wanted me to pay for dinner. I was like, come on. Can't be a feminist just for the good stuff. Every time a man pays for dinner, he should be allowed one sexist joke at the girl's expense. Like, if I've paid for dinner, then on the car ride home, she's like, oh, wish I had a ping pong table at my workplace. I get to be like, oh, come on. That'll never fit in the kitchen. Yeah, I told her that joke. She was not happy at all. She was like, that's really sexist. I was like, yeah, but it's thrifty, you know? Like, if you paid for dinner, I'd let you have one racist joke. That's a bargain. And she's like, yeah, your people love a bargain, don't they? Oh, equality. I'm surprised she even went on a date with me. You know, usually white girls don't really go for brown guys. Brown dick is like the black jelly bean to a white girl. They'll put it in their mouth, but only through a lack of other options. And white vagina is kind of like the Oscar for Best Actor. It's almost always given to handsome, mysterious white men. I mean, they'll give one to Dev Patel or Jamie Foxx once in a couple of years, but not because they want to, it's just more of a political statement than anything else. What else are feminists always talking about? The wage gap. Now, I have to explain, it's an income gap. I got destroyed in the comments of my last special. Oh, it's not real. So it's probably by this guy, by the looks of him, just... When you take into account total earnings divided by hours worked, women earn something like 70 to 80% of what men do. And it's sad, it's unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. And you know what the problem is? It's women. Because you keep going for rich men. Don't get me wrong. All right, not all of you. All right, no, but enough of you to account for the disparity. Enough of you to incentivize men to chase the big bucks. If you want to fight the income gap, just start dating poor men. Just Just find that poorest man on your Facebook feed and date him. Just bang the cleaner after the show. Because men, we're a lot dumber than you are. You know, if we saw all these poor men getting all this attention from girls, we'd be like, oh my God, being broke gets me laid? Whoa. We'd give up all the senior positions. We'd stop investing in Bitcoin. This show would be free. Women, if you're a true feminist, stop dating all these considerate, career-driven men. Go to the welfare office. Find the most broke, belligerent bogan there is. Slide down those rum-stained footy shorts and suck that dick. Suck it for equality. Just one lick for every $1 of gambling debt he's in. Well, the feminist is laughing, so that's okay. I met a girl at a bar recently, right? She was a lot bigger than I was. Not fat, just a solid unit. Just get her on the rugby team. She'd make good meters. And she seemed a bit interested in me. I don't know why. I think she was just hungry. When she said she wanted to deep throat me, I think she wanted to deep throat my entire body. And she was a massive bogan as well. This is how much of a bogan she was. We shook hands, and she's like, oh, mate, you've got calluses on your hands. I reckon men without calluses aren't real men. And I had two thoughts when I heard that. My first thought was like, oh, that's an outdated definition of what it means to be a man, isn't it? Then my second thought was like, oh my God, she called you a real man. Fuck, yeah. So I listened to that idiot, and she agreed to come back to my place. The only problem was she had driven to the bar and had had a couple of drinks, whereas I was relatively sober. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm a man, I'll drive the pissed missus home, yeah. And we got up, and already I've completely underestimated the height difference. Like, she's a good head above me. I look like her adopted sponsor child, I'm pretty sure, just straight out of World Vision. But I'm feeling great, you know, got my chest poked out, like, oh yeah, I'm such a man, oh, this is sick. Gonna get a root, oh, I'm such a man. Gonna make this Amazonian woman come, oh. She hands me the keys, I jump in the front seat, I'm like, oh, I'm such a man. I rev the ignition, oh, I'm such a man. Then I look to my left and I'm like, oh fuck, it's a manual. Oh no. Manliness gone. Don't try to pick up a bogan girl if you can't drive a manual. If you can't handle a gear stick, she is not touching yours. For some reason, she was actually still pretty keen. She must have been starving. And we caught an Uber back to my place. And we didn't actually sleep together. She just kind of gave me a hand job, really. It was more like a hand assault, let's be honest. If she thought my hands were calloused, hers were like sandpaper. Wow. You know? I was uncircumcised before, now I'm not. I was like a kid with ADD playing Nintendo Wii. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Would you give Neel a happy ending? We'll probably do it together. Yeah, we'll do it together. Team effort. Yeah.
It's a hard no.
Sorry, Neel.
It depends if anyone else was involved.
I'll do it with you if you want.
Okay, together, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Free.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't say no. He gave me the money up front, so yes, I would. Yes.
I would go all the way with the head job.